Hello and welcome back to the finish line and our first preview of proper jump racing. This weekend sees the return of racing at Cheltenham and our showcase meeting. As always, the two boys are here. Dave minus his granny curtains, Tom plus his hat.
Still with the bed in the background.
You got on to me about my coat. You can go do one.
I changed angles and I still look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. It is what it is. Like,
you're a lot brighter than you were last night.
There must be the lighting in here. I don't know what's going on.
I'll give you down one of the lights.
It's that computer you've got, Dave. There's no denying.
This is brand new. €700 worth. I only bought it a month ago.
You want to bring it back?
You want to bring it back?
Right. So this week, as I said, this week return of racing at Cheltenham. So we're going to go. Well, this is all Tom. This is Tom's first editorial crack at this. So Tom's had to pick the races, and lo and behold, there's a flat race in there.
And the only group race of the week they want to throw out. Only group one of the week they want to throw out.
Of 2-year-olds who we couldn't give two flying tiddlywinks about until next year. But anyway, Tom, you take it away. We're starting with Friday, 2:25 at Cheltenham.
It's a really good race, this is the first thing to say about it. It's pretty tricky. Galvin is top of the market. Probably rightly so. But just about. Soldier of Love has improved through handicaps for Paul Nichols, but I don't know. This is another step up again, I think, and I'm willing to take him on here. Mossy Fen is coming back for his first run of the season. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't enlighten me, Mossy Fen. And he's got beat. The 2 times he got beat last year were both at Cheltenham, so enough there to take him on. Fergal O'Brien is in pretty decent form at a minute. He's got Ask Dylan in this, and pretty much the same as Mossy Fen there. His only bad runs, if you want to put it that way, have been at Cheltenham. So I'm going to take him on as well. The one I landed on, and I'm going to take a little bit of a punt on, is Dr. Duffy for Charles Burns. Was backed off the boards for the Munster National at Limerick. Sent off 5-1 second favourite. That was on the back of a third in the Kerry National. Before that, had won 2 chases. Has got loads of chasing experience. I know he fell at Limerick, but has got loads of chasing experience, which I think will stand to him. Has actually had 2 runs at Cheltenham. Was 4th to Champagne Well in a novice hurdle at this meeting last year, which was a pretty decent run. Was 10th for 23, only beaten 8 lengths in the Martin Pipe at the festival. So not bad runs at the festival. Has a mark of 147, which puts him in 148 actually in the UK, which puts him as the second highest rated. So yeah, I'm going to take a chance on him.
Do you not think he's after having too much racing so far this season?
No, he's pretty consistent and runs an awful lot. Did the same over hurdles as well. So yeah, no, I'm not too worried about him.
I was interested. He's the one that caught my eye, but it's the amount of racing he's had to have in a short space of time is the only reason that put me off. Like as you said, he's form around Cheltenham. Yeah, but if the races haven't caught up with me, he's a right chance. Dave, who do you like?
Oh, I'm all over Mossy Fen here.
All right, go on, elaborate.
I haven't backed already for the 4-miler. I wouldn't really much worry about Cheltenham. I think the best form in the race is his 5th in the Ballymore is in my opinion better than Galvin's form. And he just wants 3 miles all day. Well, he wants more than 3 miles, but he'll get the old Sam Twiston Davis kicking the belly for about half a furlong or half a mile, sorry. And yeah, I think he's going to be a decent horse. Nigel Twiston Davis talked him up last year a couple of times. Clearly wants a fence, and I do think you'll see on Friday he's a bit slow. He's a 3-mile plotter like Envoy Allen, and he actually wants 4 miles. But no, his form is his 5th in the Ballymore is the best form. If he can translate that to fences and he looks like a chaser, I think he's the one to be on.
I agree. He's the one for me as well. I just said his 6th in the Ballymore last year. He was beaten fair enough, but look, it was against Envoyan, and the front three are going to turn out to be very good. I think the step up and trip is going to scoot him down to the ground. As you said, he's a chaser. He's a staying chaser in the making. His form prior to that, he was beating Decor Irlandais, who's a decent horseman himself. He bolted up in a handicap there off top weight a few weeks ago or a few months ago, if I'm not mistaken. And who was behind him that day as well was Sham Blue, who absolutely bolted up in his chase debut. I think last week. His back form is good. He's just going to be an out-and-out chaser. What he does on Friday, I'm very excited to see. I think 9-2 is a bigger price than I was expected. I was expecting him to be about 3-1, 7-2.
The way like Tom equates prices and all that, I was looking at it, and I would think Mossy Fen should be favourite at like 2-1, 5-2, and like you said, you're getting 9-2 instead. So for me, it was obvious to pick him. And then he's getting £8 from Dr. Duffy and from Galvin as well.
Yeah, I think the reason why he's not up there is because Galvin and Dr. Duffy are race fit. They've had a good few races already this week. Galvin has had 2, if I'm not mistaken, 3 since July. And the same with Dr. Duffy. He's had them 4 or 5 as well. But Nigel Twiston Davis always seems to have his horses ready to go for this meeting, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a big performance out of him. So I think 9-2 is a fair price, and I'm really looking forward to see how he goes. Yeah, I'm very sweet on Mossy Fen, and so is Dave. Tom, you're sweet on Dr. Duffy.
Yeah, I'd take a chance on Dr. Duffy. Nothing strong or anything, but yeah, he'd be my selection.
Right, so next we stay with Friday and we move on to the 4:45. It's an interesting race, really. It revolves around the favourite Fusel Raffles. But then you've Getaway Trump, who's failed to live up to the hypes, Sir Valentine, and then Return Take us the outsider at 4. It's surely Fusel Raffles to lose altogether in this, is it? Tom, Dave, anyone?
It would look to be Fusel Raffles to lose, but
you're not.
I don't know. I'm not overly enthusiastic about this race. And if I got a pretty decent price on, although there's only 4 runners in the race, if I got a decent price on Return Ticket, I think I'd have a small bet on him.
He's 10-1 as from what I see right now. Outside of
I'd take 10-1 on him. I'd have a small win bet on that.
Tom, do you think Getaway Trump has any chance of beating the favourite?
He's got a chance. He's just not really a horse I like. I thought he was going to turn into a proper chaser last season. I thought fences was what he wants, and I gave him the excuse after he got beat by Al Dancer. They said he put a muscle or something, or he wasn't fit, sorry. And then he disappointed me a bit behind Put the Kettle On in November, and then he pulled up, and that was the last we saw of him. It's disappointing again then at Fontwell, and then was pretty good. Yeah, pretty good at work, I think, behind beating Zoffy. Just for me, has really got to. He's got to up his form to get to Fusel Raffles. I got Fusel Raffles at least half a stone, I'd say, ahead of him.
And they're running off levels.
And they're running off levels. I know the official ratings don't put them as that, but I would have Fusel Raffles half a stone ahead of him. Put it this way, I know it's a bad example to shoot. He was beaten 26 lengths, but you know, where would Getaway Trump finish in a champion hurdle?
Nowhere.
The answer for me is absolutely nowhere. So yeah, I think Fusel Raffles is the one for me.
Yeah, I can't see. The price is horrible, but look, he's the price because he's by far the best horse in the race. Getaway Trump, I'd be interested over 2-4 in a handicap. I think he's a very lazy horse. He even showed it at Warwick. He's very slow in his jump and he's lethargic. But when you really have to get stuck into him, he starts running on. I think a little step up and trip might suit him. I don't think any of the rest of them have any chance of getting near Fusil Raffle. As you say, Tom, where would any of these finish in a champion hurdle? They wouldn't even be entered in because the trainers know they'd have no hope. So, like, if anyone has the 8-11 he's a multiple horse for the weekend, I think it's just simple as Fusil Raffle jumps and ragged and wins on the bridle more or less. Getaway Trump, as Tom said, he's had a lot of chances in good company. I was the same with Tom. I gave him another chance after he got beat by Angel's Breath. It was this meeting last year, Anna. I think so.
Yeah.
It was. I'll answer that, Ben.
Sorry, I'll answer. Yeah.
We all had match bets. We had a few points on it, and I won.
Did you enjoy them points?
I did.
Bastard.
We're not able to have points anymore though, so it's pointless making bets.
Sure, you live on your own. You could be in my social bubble.
I'm basically squatting in your house, so yeah.
Yeah,
it actually feels weird doing the podcast down here. It's strange.
Yeah, I was looking out the window. I was like, "Where the hell is he?" And then I was like, "Oh, he's definitely not coming up."
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this.
No, you're coming up on next week. So may as well stop making this complicated. I really think Fusil Raffles will be near on a possible bar mistake to get beaten in this bar of fall, should I say?
Yeah, I'll go for Fusil Raffles as well.
And I'll take the Rebecca Menzies horse.
A 10-1. Now we head on to, where are we going? Saturday. First race of the day, which sees All Mankind, the third in the Triumph Hurdle, come back out. There's a few interesting horses in it. Like you have Grand Roy, who's had his first run for Gordon Elliott. You have Norando, who is Nordano, who was beat by Goshen out of sight. So it's an interesting race, but do we think All Mankind can come out first time up again this season and rout the field with his running style? Tom?
No. No, and the one I'm going to take him on with is a horse that got pretty close to him last time. Last season. We haven't seen him since he won at Cheltenham. But Botox Haas was only beaten 2.5 lengths by All Mankind in November last year at Cheltenham. Came out and won them by 5 lengths in December at Cheltenham. Just a horse I think they like a lot. They seem to talk him up a good bit. And yeah, he's one I'm definitely looking forward to.
Tom, Dave, do you think All Mankind?
When we had Jamie on the podcast, he said about Botox Haas, but I reckon they would think Goshen is a far superior horse than he is. So for that reason, and I do think Botox Haas is going to be a decent horse, but for that reason, I would like to see All Mankind win this by a few lengths. He kind of needs to. If he doesn't, I would start to worry about Goshen. I'm not worried about the flat runs, but I want to see All Mankind come out and run his running style without being pestered by Goshen like he did in the Triumph, and then get so tired that he barely could jump the last hurdle. I want to see All Mankind go out like he does in his comfort zone and then kick away and win. It wouldn't surprise me if Botox Haas runs well, and probably Nordano will run well as well.
I like that angle that Tom has with Botox Haas. I think All Mankind is the horse they all have to beat. I've no doubt in my mind he's going to be fit because the way his running style, he's going to have himself fit because he put so much into it. His first run last season over hurdles, he won by 37 lengths on the bridle and he went off 5-2. That's saying they didn't think he was capable of that. He's form around the track. I think he'll get an easy lead. I was going through it. There's not much. Well, there's not going to be much that's able to go the pace he goes. So if he's right, I expect him to win. But as Dave said, I'd like to see him put it into to boost up Gosh's form. If he's going to be anywhere near a champion hurdle horse. But,
remember though that they are 4-year-olds. These are 4-year-olds they're running against.
I know.
So it isn't like All Mankind isn't going running against older horses now. So
yeah, but you still
excited.
You'd still like to see him.
You'd still like to see him. You'd still like to see him beat him fairly snugly now. For that, even though they are going against 4-year-olds, you still want to see him win.
You would, but I'm not going to be getting too excited that Goshen's fine. The 4-year-olds are great until I see those 4-year-olds against older horses.
Yeah, but even on that, I take that point. Yeah, but he's had enough.
Oh, my fire's going out.
Oh, you can't get this anywhere else, can you?
This is why he goes to your house, Andrew.
Yeah.
You get to sit still for half an hour.
Everything under control. He's gone now. Bye, Dave. But one I'm willing to take a chance on at a big price is the Pinkin. He was a good second on his comeback behind Time White and Paul Nichols, who was really impressive at Chepstow last time out. And before that, he was winning a good race at Stratford by 2.5 lengths quite snugly. And even before that, he was beaten by Sir Psycho, but I think he's after improving a bit this season. His run last time was encouraging. Seamus Mullins' horses are in decent form. He's 14-16-1 in the place. I'd be willing to take a chance on him each way and just watch All Mankind at the price of 5-2, 3-1.
There's one there that I'm going to give a shout out to, a wild price.
I'm getting that put on t-shirts.
What's that?
I'm getting that put on a t-shirt.
Wild price.
Yeah, wild price.
His horse called Clemencia, trained by Tim Vaughan. Tim's had a few hit the crossbar or be placed in the last week or two without winning, so they're in decent enough form. Moved over to his yard in the middle of February, and then they ran him in the Boodles. Is it? Yeah, the Boodles. It was 5th of 22, only beaten 4 lengths. Ran a cracking race there. If not on Saturday, there should be a nice race in Clemencia somewhere. But he's gone well at Cheltenham before. He's 33-1. You could do worse.
Yeah. Yeah, he's you like Tim Vaughan. You're as bad as me with Hemley Bromhead with Tim Vaughan.
Yeah, he is, to be fair.
You are as bad as me.
Still waiting for that Tim Vaughan horse from last year to win.
BBC.
Waiting a long time, I'd say.
Yeah, he's injured, poor Yoke. He's some machine, though. But no, Clemencia is not a bad horse, lads. Went from Brendan Duke to Tim, so...
Okay. Recap. The Pinkin each way. I'll just watch All Mankind.
I'll take Botox Haas and Clemencia each way.
And I will watch All Mankind and I'll have a bet on him as well.
Okay, fair enough. Next, we move on to the 240. Novice Chase over 2 miles, 3.5 furlongs, more or less 3-4. I was hoping Grand Sunsea was going to run in this, but it's not looking like it because Harry Cobden is booked up on Southly Stone. So I think this will go to Not That Fusey, who was a quite impressive winner first time up this season at Perth, beating Nigel Tristan Davis' horse, Redford Road, and Carl Milan. I think that form is good. I think he's threatened to do something like that for the last few runs, and he's form around Cheltenham. I think he will be very, very hard to beat around here if he backs up that run, which is the only concern I have with him.
Dave?
Anybody?
If Richard Johnson is scheduled to ride Pylon, so I'm fairly sure he's going to run there, and I will pick him on the strength of his form at Cheltenham last year in the Martin Pipe. He got done on the line by Indefatigable that we had backed, Andrew.
Yeah, we did.
I think that was a decent race. She's a decent enough mare. Great White Shark was behind in third. You have the Boss's Oscar behind that. I think it was a decent handicap hurdle.
Yeah.
And I'm fairly sure Philip Hobbs thought he was full on going to win that race. I think he put up in one of the videos before Cheltenham that he was his best chance for Cheltenham. So I would give him a chance, even though he obviously hasn't jumped the fence yet. And we'll see what happens.
Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, it's getting boring. This I'm agreeing with Dave again. Southfield Stone has got some pretty decent form. But yeah, I wanted to take a chance on Pillion. I think you can look at that and say Grand Sansi's not going to run if Harry Cobden's jocked up on Southfield Stone. Pillion gets £5 off of Southfield Stone. There's only £3 between them on official ratings. So not that Fusey. Why they don't run that in a handicap, no idea whatsoever. We said it last year.
Yeah.
After it finished second off 131. And in fairness, they ran it a handicap in December and it got beat. But I just think it's well handicapped. And if it goes and wins one of these, fantastic. But all of a sudden, it's going to get put up £12. Just wouldn't be where I was running it. And yeah, Pillion for me. Philip Hobbs is in fine form. He's had a couple of winners and a couple of placed horses, so it's not too bad. And yeah, I'd take a chance on him.
Yeah, I'm very strong on Not That Fusey. I think his form around Cheltenham was grand. He's, as Tom said, he's probably better than a handicap marker he is. I think he'd be hard to beat. But my only concern is he needs to back that up. He's threatened to do something special, as you said last season. But yeah, I think we might see him turn into a decent horse. Yeah, so now our final jump race, because Tom wants to talk about the bloody Racing Post Trophy. What's it called these days? Futuria or something, isn't it?
Vertem Futurity, yeah, I think.
Right, before we get to that, the last one at Cheltenham we were going to touch on is the 350 Handicapped Chase. Very, very competitive field. Tom, what did you land on in this?
I landed on an absolute legend of a horse.
Corgree.
Yes!
Come on, Dave. Dave, this is getting too boring now, pal. We're gonna have to discuss.
Andrew, I guarantee Andrew's picking him too.
Are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have two in it.
Where is my internet won't work again. But yeah, Calgary anyway for me, look, has a very, very good record when fresh. And you just gotta go with him, really, haven't you?
He's a lovable little rogue, isn't he?
But he always runs his race. He's one of those, so.
He was, where was I finding it? He was third in it last year, beaten 2 lengths by Western Approach, and the Conditional was first in it last year. That's very good form. The Conditional went on to win at the festival. So the form is there. He's loved Cheltenham. He's turns up this time of year every year. He's going to run his race. You know what you're going to get. He's at 8-1 back with each way price. I can't see him being out the frame at least. Dave will touch on him more. So I'll move on to another one that I actually quite like, and it's the mare, Sensilano. She's a quite decent mare in her own way. She's off 138. She's formed. She was second behind Magical Light, who Dave likes for the Mayor's Chase at Cheltenham in a Grade 2 at Ascot. And she was a winner.
I don't like Magical Light.
Who do you like?
Like
sorry.
Happy Diva.
Happy Diva. Magical Light is in that as well, though. I thought you said Magical Light as well. But anyway, she was a good winner of her Mayor's Chase on her own, and she beat good horses like Chili Philly and Midnight Tune, who are decent horses. in her own right. She loves soft ground. She's getting weight. She's only carrying 10 stone. Paddy Brennan's up on her. I think she's a huge price at 16-1. I can see her going fairly close to that price. Dave Coggery, expand.
Right, Coggery for me, he runs this race like Tom said, and you said, all the time at Cheltenham. He's always thereabouts. Wears his heart in his sleeve. He'll go out, be up near the top and jump for fun, and it'll be like, hold on and see can you get over the line. But the thing about him is he's a bit small, and sometimes he struggles in the handicaps when he wins the race and goes up, and they put him up a few pounds and he has to carry a big weight. Mm-hmm. Frodon is making the weight for Coggery in the race. Coggery's carrying 10 stone 4. Frodon's carrying 11, 12. Mm-hmm. I can't see Frodon giving that amount of weight to Coggery. No chance. Especially with his record around Cheltenham and his record fresh.
Yeah.
So it's Coggery for me all day. Like I said, Frodon is literally making the weight for him. He should go out in front and jump him for fun and kick that Frodon out of the way as well. Get him out of the way.
Dave, I'm amazed you're not putting up Frodon just so you can give it a bit of go on B. Wow.
I back Frodon for the Ryanair the year he won it because I thought he'd win, but I actually don't mind Frodon. Frodon's all right. I don't like Bryony Frost.
Sure, look, expand on it. Why not, Dave?
She's just not a good jockey. Like, you got a spade. Like, it's a point and shoot, Merchant. I said it loads of times last year. On a front runner, out she goes, and if it jumps, she's a chance to win. And she can't come from behind. That sounded really bad. Let's go back. Oh, that sounded really bad. Whoops.
Wow.
Move on quickly.
Wow, Dave.
I'm going to go attend the fire.
Dave, the fire's going out there. Fix it, will you?
I'm glad you're a mother left.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
So selections, yeah. It's a clean sweep for Coggery. Coggery, clean sweep, and I'm going to put up Sen Solano each way as well. My good God, Tom, go to the flat racing, quick.
Tom's gone.
Go to the flat racing.
Quick, take it away, Tom, quickly. What just happened?
This is a good race, and yeah, let's just ignore the whole Bryony Frost chat ever happened. I'm trying to.
He's thrown. The head is gone.
I'm trying to find it again now. Anyway, the one I fancy is One Ruler. Here we go. Won really well at Newmarket. I actually backed him that day, and very interested in him in this kind of race. It's a step up in class for him. But yeah, I'm very interested in him. King Vega is one to keep an eye on as well. Is a maiden, but like got absolutely no run behind Etonian last time out. I said I'd back him the next day.
He's been smashed up in the market as well.
What's that?
He's been smashed up in the market as well. He's 14.
Yeah, I said I'd back him the next day. I didn't think he'd be running a Group 1. I thought he'd be in a maiden somewhere. Wembley is obviously rightly head of the market, and probably deserves his day. He's come second a lot. Deserves his day. Is second in 2 Group 1s. Clearly has the ability to win one of them. But yeah, I'll take a chance on One Ruler with an each way bet on King Vega.
Dave, who are you going to take a chance on?
I don't know what to make of it, really. Suppose I'd say I'd give the best chance to Wembley, but it's a watching brief from me. I'm not going to have a bet in the race.
Yeah, I'm the same, but I was going through it there just before we came on. I'd take a chance on Van Gogh to turn around the form at One Ruler. I kind of followed him since his Leopardstown second, 2 starts ago. He kind of caught my eye with the way he ran behind Cadillac. He just kept on. He's more like a grinder. I think they make more use of him. I think he could make up the length with One Ruler, and he's 7-1. It's not a great price, but if I was backing at an in it, he'd be the one I'd put my money on. But Tom is quite sweet, and he's after looking at this more than us on one ruler. So take Tom's advice. Would be right.
At your peril, I'd say. God, you're going to ask us for naps and next best now, aren't you?
I don't know. You're the one doing today's show, so you tell me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I think Cogri each way just back that, isn't it? One ruler and King Vega, I'm going to back both of those. And the other one I've just backed is Pillion, because he's still 9-2 with Betfair and Paddy Power.
Okay.
That won't be there tomorrow, so take it as soon as you can.
I'm trying to get price now for my one here. My nap is not that few, say. Is there price there for that, Tom? I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, 6-1.
6-1. Oh, that's beautiful. Not that few, say 6-1 is my nap. My next best is Sensilano each way, 14-1.
My nap is Mossy Fane, and my next best is Pillion.
Very good. Yeah, big news broke today, lads. Huge. 2020 is okay again. Faugheen is back in training. It's confirmed. He's going Gold Cup. The world is okay again.
It's not, but that's some good news finally. Yeah.
You just ruin it. Stay on. Thanks. I was happy for like 10 seconds there, and you just.
But you sure can still be happy. The world is fucked up.
True, but
You're so positive, Dave. So positive.
You're like Tom 2.0 now.
Yeah, look, Cheltenham is here Friday and Saturday, and we get to sit down and watch it. So, that's a good thing.
That is a good
thing. Do you want me to cheer you up?
Yeah. If the first word is make and second word is good, no.
What price is he, Tom? Come on.
13-2 with Bet365, 5-1 everyone else. No excuses tomorrow, lads. 1-6.
No, you have an excuse in your back pocket. You have one excuse left in your back pocket. Just keep saying
blinkers. Why they haven't got blinkers on, I don't know. But anyway, cheap pieces will hopefully do the trick. Shane Foley is obviously riding out of his skin at the minute, so we'll see what happens. Bad old race, though.
Bad old horse. On that bombshell. Yeah, so that was our look at the weekend's action, according to Tom. Good races picked out, Tom. Well done.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Get you to do this more often. But yeah, that's our naps. Naps again, we go through them again. Tom, nap next best?
Oh, Jesus.
We did about 6. Sorry, Dave.
My nap is Mossy Fane, and my next best is Pillion or Pylon, however you pronounce it.
Tom?
I'll take Cogri each way as my nap and Pillion as my next best.
My nap is not so few, say 6-1, and Sensilano 16-1. Both run at Cheltenham. Right, so lads, yesterday we done our 2020-2021 jump horses to follow, so that's on our page and all. It's on Spotify as well if you want to listen it on the go. So next week we will be back with more jump racing action. So if you haven't subscribed already, click the subscribe button, put the bell icon on so you won't miss any of our next videos, and write in the comments below who your nap and next best is for the week, and we will see you again.